Okay, figured it out. Thank you guys for bearing with me right there. That was pretty annoying. But first time, trying to get better at this stuff. So yeah, like I was saying in the last live, I want to just do a quick little Q&A as far as like form tips and stuff to kind of like segue off of my down the fairways episodes and stuff. And so that's why I'm here, and I appreciate you guys for showing up. We got 27. We're gonna have probably a couple hundred, I'm guessing, by the end of this video. I only have about 10 to 15 minutes, so if you guys could get some comments rolling over here in the comment section, I'll be able to answer those. So that'll be great. Great. As long as I feel like that should be open now, finally. Let me go to my channel real quick. I mean, if the chat room is closed again, I'm gonna be so mad. There we go. Here we go. Yeah, we got some questions in here. Okay, I'll just read it off of my phone because I don't know how to do it on here, which is fine. It's live. Hi again. What's up, guys? This is gonna be fun. Okay, forehand question. This is from Ethan. I keep swaying off my tee shots and throwing high. How do I improve my forehand so I stop doing these things? Okay, so when you're throwing any shot, it's all about release point, right? Release point, right? I can hear myself. That's annoying. I'm sorry you guys have to hear my voice. It's all about release point. So if my arm is up here, obviously you're gonna throw it a little bit higher. And a really easy way to kind of fix that from throwing it low, high, left, right is to really extend out in front of you and get those fingers pointing to where you want it to go. So what happens is you're probably going from low to high, or even from high, and then you're dropping down. The wrist is really way above the elbow, and then you're going to get that nose up. So I would really practice on getting more extension here. I'm going to grab a disc real quick so I can demonstrate a little better for you guys. All right. Another thing is, in order to find a good release point, what I do is, so I grip it like this, and I really focus on the pressure of my middle finger right there, and I'll feel the disc kind of pop right off of that release point. And what that does is it gets me, I know when I feel that pop, that's where the disc is going to come out. A lot of people just throw it and they're just thinking, okay, I want it to go forward. I really go into detail of my pressure points on all my shots. And what that helps me do is then I'm able to understand better where it's actually coming out of my hand right away. Instead of throwing it to an area, then I have control, 6-7 inches out of my hand, because I know exactly where that's coming out because of that pressure on the middle finger. So that's one of the tips that I tell people is figure out exactly what's the last point of contact on your finger, and then that'll really help you find a consistent release point. Good question, though. Hopefully that helps. Okay. Question, can I get like 80, 90 miles per hour for a putter? 80 meters with a putter. And since I started playing disc golf, I only throw putters. When should I start throwing, focusing on drivers? Okay, so this is important for a lot of people to understand. A putter throw and a driver throw, completely different throws. And so what I always tell people is, yes, you need to learn how to throw a putter. You get the wobble out and you become smooth. But there's two different ways to throw. And if you're just focusing on throwing putters all the time, that's not something that I teach. I teach that if you're learning like 150 feet and in, or 200 feet and in, because those are the shots that really get away from a lot of people. When somebody comes to me with a scoring question or something and they're like, yeah, I just want to be better, the first thing that I focus on is making sure that they're getting up and down from 150 feet. And that's why I really teach that first to people. Because if you can't get up and down from 150 feet, really, what are you doing? Why are you trying to throw farther and everything? That's the first thing you should be dialing in. So a lot of that gets misconceived as, okay, I need to learn how to throw putters far, and I need to learn how to do that first, and then I'll move up to mid-ranges and drivers. I don't teach that. What I teach is, yeah, we'll learn how to get up and down from 150 feet, but in that process, we should be also learning how to throw drivers, mid-ranges, and everything in between at that same distance. And then as you progress with all of your discs, all of your putter shots, those different release points, because those rims are different, guys. Like putters deeper, so that's going to be a different release point, different pressure in your hand, and you're going to be able to like progress together with all of your shots. So I love that you're out there and you're really getting those putters dialed. But I would say definitely start immediately on learning how to throw the mid-range and the drivers as well, because you should progress together with all of those shots instead of just kind of focusing on one of them. If you are just trying to dial in, like I said, to get up and down from 150 feet, 200 feet, then you can focus on those things for like a week or something. But I like to kind of teach my students to dial it all in at the same time at the same distance. Hope that makes sense. Oh, from Estonia. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right, let's see here. A lot of questions, guys. So if I don't, obviously I'm not going to be able to get to all of you, all of the questions. I'm going to just kind of go down the list, and if one pops out, then I'm going to focus on that one. I'm 13 and I throw 220 feet. Congratulations, man. That's awesome. Good for you. Park your up shots, this guy says. Yes, very, very important. How long have you known Michael? Oh, Michael. So that's another thing. If you guys haven't already, go over to Michael Halt's channel, hit the subscribe button. He's a guy that I've been doing a couple collabs with here in Charlotte. And we've been having a lot of fun, I'm telling you. The last, I don't want to spoil it, but the last round we did 18 under challenge, where we played doubles and tried to shoot 18 under with however many mulligans it would take us. And I won't tell you how many mulligans it took us, because you got to go watch his. And if you haven't watched the front nine on my channel, please go down there, hit the like button, watch that. And also, if you're watching this live stream, probably already have hit the bell, but if you haven't, please do that. Let me do another form question. Excuse me. Just had a little burp there. A little embarrassing guy. Okay. My forehands turn over when I try to put power into the natural stability of a disc. TL3. Do you have any pointers? Okay, so in order to make a disc fly, your arm speed really has to match, especially with the sidearm. Your arm speed really has to match. This is weird. Finally, the comments turned on my right. I don't know if that's my editor who just did that, but that's awesome. Now I don't have to look at my phone. Perfect. Okay, so your arm speed has to match the amount of spin you put on a sidearm. With a backhand, it's not really the case because you're naturally uncurling and putting spin on the disc. Just put spin on the disc naturally. With a sidearm, it's your job to put the spins on and the rotations in order to match your arm speed. And I actually give a couple drills for this in my Down the Fairways series. So please go down there and you can find those as well. So I don't have to, be on here for 5 minutes talking about this. But a quick tip is to slow the arm down, make sure the fingers get in front, and then just put spin on it. Now, a lot of people get confused when I say this. They think, okay, now I have to put so many rotations on it, and then it'll be able to fly. That is true. But there's also a way to be able to throw slow, arm speed slow, and not that many rotations because I'm matching the slow arm speed with not as many rotations, if that makes sense. And then I'm able to kind of get the wobble out of the sidearm that way by just matching it to where the disc won't be spinning as much as if I really tried to spin it. And that's where you get the touch and everything. Okay, spinning it will give you direction and putting rotations on the putter so it gets the wobble out. Now, I keep talking about wobble. The reason I talk about that is because if you have wobble on your shots when you're throwing putters, mid-ranges, or anything like that, you need to go do more work. You need to start matching those rotations with the arm speed. Once all that comes together, you'll find out that you won't do this move. Whoop, roll over. You'll extend, pop, and then you'll come over. What's happening is that release point, like a baseball or something, you're coming like this, opening up. You want to get to that same follow through. So you're throwing it, and then your wrist will turn, which will then torque the disc to the left. So work on matching your spin. And in order to do that, you have to slow down, and you won't do this move. You'll keep going through the shot, if that makes sense. Okay, let's see some more questions. This is fun, man. I love I could go on and on with all this stuff. I love doing this, just so you guys know. And thank you for the support. I really appreciate it. I mean, 30,000 subs. What the heck? You guys are awesome. Like, I never even thought. This was just a thing that I was like, you know what? I love teaching. Like, I want to start a series on YouTube, and hopefully people will listen. And then all of a sudden, 9 months later, I got 30,000 subscribers. That's insanity. You guys are just so dope. I'm not even kidding. You guys are so dope. Thank you so much for the support. Just unbelievable. And I've had a lot of great responses with people being like, dude, you like changed my life. Like, I couldn't throw it all. And then one little tip here, now I'm addicted to disc golf again. And that's exactly why I made this channel. So thank you so much for all of that and for all the support, all the great feedback. Okay, I'm gonna find one real quick. A lot of sidearm questions. My leg seems to shoot up when I throw, and a lot of good throwers seem to get their rear leg and thigh moving toward the front leg. In that, I think I should be worried about and how to learn it. Okay, so this is another thing that I need to get across to you guys. We can all go into our form and do crazy breakdowns of flaws that we have and worry and things like that. There is something to wanting to get better, but there's also something to being obsessed with these little intricate details of form flaws, which I totally get. The leg coming up, and if you think that is wrong because other people do it differently, it's not necessarily true. Could be true. That's up to you to go to the field and figure it out. Try to do different things. Try to feel what. One thing I tell people is, if it doesn't feel natural, probably not natural. Like, disc golf is a very fluid sport. Like, fluidity is so key. It's like I when I teach people, I say it's like dancing. So if it doesn't feel natural, like you're gliding across the ground, which I know I know what you guys are thinking. Like, of course it doesn't. You know, we're not like super pros. I got you, but that's the point where you want to get to. So if it doesn't feel good, and then you're watching the best players in the world, and you're trying to match your form to theirs, that's great. But your body doesn't work like mine. Your body doesn't work like somebody else's. So my suggestion is, depending on how good you are, like that's, I feel like, honestly, and don't take offense to this, I feel like that's a question I should be asking myself, you know, like, should my leg be swinging in right now? And I don't know you, so like I said, don't take offense to this, but you could be 1025 rated and wanting to know that question. But a lot of times the people who are really obsessed with form could really like take a step back, work on your fluidity, work on slowing things down to see how it works. And if you can slow down and fix that problem that you might have, or you think you might have, and it feels right, it's probably right. But from a question on the chat, for me to, I would have to kind of watch you in order to understand what you're saying. So I kind of went down a crazy rabbit hole there. I just wanted to make sure to get across to you guys that focusing on little tiny details is can be like a rabbit hole you can't come back from. Just like I can't get out of this question right now. I hope that helped in some way. If it did, give me another comment for another question, and I'll try to do my best to help you, my friend. When do you focus? What do you focus on during your reach back? I have a lot of power, but my throws are inconsistent because every reach back is different. All right. That's a really good question. So when everybody's reach back doesn't go to the same spot, and I don't like the term reach back. I like to call it extension, because you should never be reaching back on purpose. What happens in the disc golf throw is the disc almost stays in the same place and you move around the disc. So your body is moving forward while your arm is almost staying in the same place. And what happens is, let me grab this disc and I'm going to take these off to just demonstrate kind of what I'm talking about. Now, when I'm doing my, I almost knocked down my whole setup here. What happens is I'm going to keep this and see how I'm moving around it, and that's staying in the same place as I extend. That's the move. So here I go, and now I'm not reaching back. I'm extending forward with my body. So there's no such thing as reaching back. Now, if I take, I'll get back up. If I take smaller steps for like touching something, I'm going to go here. Why would I reach all the way back to throw it 100 feet? Now I'm just going to take smaller steps and then have a smaller extension and go from there. So it's just a shorter swing. So it's okay to have different reach backs or extensions, because that has to do with where your feet are, I believe. So try to move forward and keep that disc kind of in the same spot. Now, this is super tough for a lot of people because people have been taught for so long to reach back. Don't reach back. Let your body move forward and then get your extension moving forward. Keep the hand in the same place. That's how the best players in the world do it. I mean, some of us even push the disc a little bit forward in the swing and then move and extend with the body in front of that. So at no point am I ever going like this, reaching back. It stays here, and then I extend forward, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Man, I wish I could hear you guys like you hear me, so I could. It's tough to just read these things because then somebody asks a question and then all of a sudden that question's gone. Last contact I'll ever make with you. Hope that helped though, buddy. How do you practice flip up or hyzer flip shots? Good question. Get your flippiest disc in your bag. Get your flippiest disc and go out there and throw it with hyzer. And at first, it's probably going to go straight up. If you don't know how to throw a hyzer flip, you'll throw it with hyzer, and it'll go up. And then I tell people, okay, now try to throw it right in front of you into the ground. And if you do, then aim a little higher. And then eventually you'll hit the right height with your swing with a hyzer and a flippy disc, and then you'll see it go and then hyzer flip upward. Now you found your release point, and just keep practicing that. So good tip. I'm getting some text. Let me see what these are. Make sure that this is I said I was only going to be on here for 10 minutes, so okay, perfect. I'm all good. I can stay a little bit longer. That was a good call, guys. Can you play at Winthrop soon? I could probably, but I don't really play that much during the off season. Honestly, I'm focused on a lot of lessons and helping people. Let's see. When throwing a forehand shot, is the X step still recommended? I notice a lot of players utilize more of a hop when they throw. Yeah, now this is something that I don't like to go into detail with a lot of different run-ups. Obviously the X step backhand for sure. But there's some people who hop and throw as well. I would suggest I think the X step is better just because of seeing how many good players there are with the X step. As far as forehand goes, I think that has a lot to do with your background in sports. And if you don't have a background in sports, then yeah, I would pick somebody like a Big Germ or Eagle, or even Macbeth has a great sidearm, and I would pick their run up and try to match what they do. Sexton has a little hop that he does, and he's insanely accurate. So figure out somebody that you like and try to mimic that form. If you don't have a sports background, if you do have a sports background, then you probably have a run up to throw. And then I would match your personal sidearm to that throw that you already have from that sports background. So that would be my tip for you. But very good question. Very good question. We're up to 300 people. I mean, that's solid, honestly. I appreciate it, guys. Another thing I wanted to talk about, I'm about to start a Patreon on this channel. To where I'm going to be able to do this exact thing a lot more often. Now, with that Patreon, I'm also going to be able to buy more equipment. This is expensive to do this kind of stuff, new microphones, new computers, all of that thing. But I want to give you guys the best content possible. And in order to do that, I need a little help from y'all. Another thing that I did recently is I hired a full-time editor. So now I'm able to do a lot of content. That's why you're seeing more rounds of me playing. I'm not a great editor, but you're able to see more of that because I hired a full-time editor to go out so I just send him the content. He edits it, and then puts it on the channel. And that costs money as well. Editing is very time consuming. And he's one of the best editors I've ever seen. He's actually the guy that I hired that has done all my videos previously for like my Instagram, my small little announcements and different things like that. He's done all of that stuff. So you're getting a high quality, somebody who knows exactly what he's doing. But that's what I want for you guys. I want to have the best channel, or at least the best that I can personally provide. I can't have styles like other people, but I want to bring a really good product to you guys and I call it a product because once I get the Patreon, I will be getting paid to do this. So at that point, it becomes a product. Right now, it's not a product because I just do it for free. So in order for me to give you guys, like I said, the best product, the best tips, the best rounds me playing, the best editing, that I need to do this. So I hope you guys are gonna support that, and I'd really appreciate it. Okay, here we go. Hey man, I've been living in the. Okay, that's not. Somebody brought up the Breens. That's funny. Will I be able to bomb the Ezra nuke? Oh, absolutely. I can't wait to throw the Ezra nuke. I'm so pumped that we got him on our team. I'm so stoked. Hey, Paul, can you think of any tips to help prevent knee injuries? I got some knee problems from Ultimate, and I tried to get pains, or I started to get, I tend to get pain and soreness after throwing. Yes. Few things you can do. Few things. Stay hydrated is the number one thing. Honestly, stay hydrated. That'll help prevent soreness and knee injuries moving forward, of course. And the next thing you need to do is massages. Get massages on your legs because that helps blood flow. Noradic, I think that's what it's called. I just got these this product that was pretty expensive, but it's supposed to like pressurize your legs and then unpressurize them, pressurize them, unpressurize them. And I'm pretty sure there's chiropractors with these at their facilities, and that's really helped me as well. Obviously, I'm coming off of a knee injury myself, so I'm a pretty good person to ask. Another thing is, I don't know what your knee injury was, but strengthen the muscles around that injury, and that'll help as well. So get in the gym, and do that. And I know for myself, one of the things I really struggle with, especially in the off season, and this off season, is I put on some weight. And when you put on weight, my physical therapist told me every pound of weight is 10 pounds of pressure to your legs, especially when you're stomping on it. So if you have any excess weight that you could lose or diet, then I would highly suggest that, because then you're taking, like, you have 10 extra pounds you can get off your body. Then 10 pounds is 100 pounds of pressure to that spot. That's a lot, and that ups it really quick. Your legs are strong, but if you can help with those, do little tiny things like that to help your knees, and those are my tips. Haven't we all put on a little weight? I don't know. Some people, Ezra didn't put on any weight. Some people are like killing it out there. I mean, honestly, I'm usually a gym rat. Like, I'm in the gym every day. And this off season, I haven't been in like but 3 or 4 times. Part of that is obviously COVID. It's tough. But another part of it is I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to give you guys more content. And that takes up a lot. This takes up a lot of time. I know you guys think that being a professional disc golfer is all easy, and it's my favorite thing. Obviously, I have the best life ever. Don't get me. I would never complain about the blessings that I have in my life, but it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work, a lot of dedication for me to be able to give the lessons that I do around here, because I really don't have to do them. I could just sleep in, not do anything, or go to the gym, but I'd rather get face to face with people and help, so takes a lot of time. I go down these loopholes that you guys don't care that I'm fat. Who cares? I know. Any tips for arm pain after throwing forehand? Yeah, lots of tips for arm pain. Don't throw it if it hurts. That you're already injuring yourself if you're feeling pain in your arm. Soreness, different story. Soreness is because you overused your muscles. Deal. Pain, don't throw a sidearm. You're going to hurt yourself. And work on different form techniques so that um, you're not getting pain when you throw, because that's bad news bears right there, my friend. How do I get lessons with you? You can message me on Facebook, Messenger, and we can try to set up something. I'm honestly, Wednesdays are now full because that's a full-time filming day for me, so I can't do Wednesday. So Monday, Tuesday, and Thursdays are days that I do them, and they're booked out for right now a couple weeks. But um, a lot of people like drop off and or out of their scheduled spot because of work and different things. So I have 3 to 4 people usually drop per week um, with my lessons, so I can usually fill those spots. On fixing grip lock, yeah. All right, this is a great question. Any tips on fixing grip lock? A lot of people think that grip lock has to do with your grip, and sometimes it does. Believe me, more often than not, it does. But a lot of time, it has to do with footwork as well. And I say that I'm going to give you guys an example that you guys could probably all relate to. When you're playing a course with small tee pads, this is where I see the biggest problems with grip lock and early releases is it actually has to do with tee pads and your footwork. This is going to be the last question that I answer, guys, and then I got to go. So what happens is when you're moving forward, you don't give yourself enough room on the tee pad. And so your last step, you're wanting to extend that last step, and then all of a sudden the tee pad's gone. You're used to a certain amount of steps on bigger tee pads. So then when you have a smaller tee pad, your last step you want to extend and you can't. And so what happens is you have to hit it down early or you fall off the edge of the tee pad. And when you hit it down early, that's when you release early because you're waiting for that to hit. As soon as that front foot hit, everything goes. And so when you come down early, now you have to swing early. That's when you'll early release. Now, that's the same thing to do with when your last step is late. So now let's picture that tee pad. And if you're not looking down at the tee pad and you're not aware of where your footing is, if you miss the tee pad, let's say there's like this much room between the ground and let's say the cement tee pad is raised, right? So follow me with this real quick. And you miss that tee pad, you're expecting to step and you miss because you have this much drop off now. That's when you yank because you're waiting for that timing. You're waiting for that front foot to hit. It doesn't hit. And so you start swinging early. And then your release point's way late. So that's one of the reasons if you're grip locking, you need to get that front foot down faster. That means your front foot isn't getting down in time in order for you to have a good release point. I hope that makes sense. I think I explained it pretty good. Let me see here. So yeah, just to interact with you guys for a second more. Thank you so much for your support. 30, like I said in the beginning of this, 30,000 subs. Insane. Love it. If you guys like the collabs that I've been doing, please keep commenting on those videos. That helps me understand like what you guys like, what you need from me. If you guys liked what I just did here with just a quick little question and answer about some form stuff, well, I get the funny. Oh, thank you. If you guys like what I did here, also, you know what I mean? Give me some comments over here on the right saying, yes, please do this more. And I can come on here and take 10 minutes out of my time to do this for you. Because if you guys can take 10, 15 minutes out of your day to watch my front nines and my back nines, then I can take a little time to come here and give you some tips and everything. And you can still expect one down the fairway per week on my channel. I'll keep trying to pump those out. A lot of people ask if I'm running out of ideas. I am not. I'm full of ideas for my down the fairway stuff. So, but if you do have a specific thing that you'd like for me to cover, I would definitely put that in some of the comments on the down the fairways episodes. Again, if you have friends, well, not again, but if you have friends that enjoy disc golf, that enjoy learning, and you think could take some value in my channel, please suggest it. Suggest for them to come over, subscribe. Um, I just can't wait to see where this goes, and if we can all grow together, I mean, this will be perfect. So I appreciate it, and look for more content here in the near future. I got a lot of stuff going down, and once that Patreon comes out, I could really use the support with that. I'm going to be doing, I'll be having discount codes for some of my merch on there. I'll be doing extra content with more personal stuff with my life, like what I do on the daily. If I'm having a day off or something, you'll be able to see something like that. I'll also be doing some more of these on the Patreon to get some live interactions with the fan base and the subs. So that's pretty much it. Appreciate you guys. I have to go. I have to go film pretty soon. So love you guys. I'll see you. I'll see you on the next one. Actually, no. I'll see you down the fairway.